Hey guys and gals, at it again, dropping some info. We're gonna do a mental WOD. Yeah. Okay. So coming at you from Jones for CrossFit, Shelby Jones, Joel Wiersbe here. Am I saying that right? Wiersbe. Sports psychologist. Just get in your brain, make you do things you didn't think you could do. That's what it's about. And that's actually what we're kind of going to be talking about today, right? So I've noticed a lot of people kind of get stuck. And this isn't, I guess it works for everybody. They'll get stuck in the same routine, not doing or not pushing themselves as hard as I think they could be. You get used to being comfortable. You know what you can work with. You know you can work with that. You're not sure if you can work with something else, so you don't want to try it. And that's kind of.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a big issue for athletes, but just people in general, is having a fear of trying something new. So it could be maybe a fear of failure, right? If I try something new and I fail, man, I want to avoid that whole situation. So we call that a fear of failure, right? So you want to avoid feeling embarrassed or guilty or let down, maybe a sense of loss that you put your best foot forward and it still didn't work out for you, right? That's pretty scary, right? And a lot of people want to avoid that whole situation. We'd call that a fear of failure. But it might also be a fear of success. So I am afraid that if I really go out there and I put my best out there and I'm successful, oh my God, I'm gonna have to work so hard to maintain that. Everybody's gonna have all these higher expectations of me. I don't know about that. So we would call that a fear of success. So both of these things are getting in the way of us achieving our true potential, right? Us achieving our greatest self. So a couple of things to think about is, to get better, you've got to be uncomfortable, right? You're going to be outside of your comfort zone in terms of your physical capacity, your mental capacity, right? Even like endurance factor, right? I don't know that I can continue this for a really long time. And yeah, that's okay. So something that you can do mentally is decide, right? Make the decision that, yeah, I'm going to be uncomfortable here, and that's okay, right? Be able to be in that moment and just sit there with it, right? Know what it's like. Because if you're not able to push yourself, then your muscles aren't going to adapt. Your brain isn't going to adapt. You're not going to actually increase your muscle usage, your power capacity output. So you got to embrace what that uncomfortable moment might be. And that can be challenging. So something to think about is just make the decision of, I'm going to work really hard at this one piece of this workout. Maybe, we've been working on muscle ups a lot, and that's a very challenging movement for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. So maybe I'm just focusing on the pull, right? I'm just focusing on the pull, and maybe just working on my upper body strength in terms of getting up there. Maybe I'm just really focusing on the technique of it, right? So something that we've noticed this week of struggle is like the turnover, right? I can get up there just fine. I just have a hard time with the transition forward. So instead of thinking about this whole thing, about how am I going to do this? This is so hard. Just think about one piece of it, right? So putting your mind onto one thing, deciding, I'm choosing to think about this one thing, that gives you a lot of power, because that's where all your energy goes, right? You're gonna have one hell of a flip forward because that's what you're really focused on. Okay, so something else to think about is maybe take a step back too and think, well, what am I really afraid of? Let me identify what that is. Maybe I'm afraid of the failure. Maybe I'm afraid of the success, or maybe some combination of those two. And decide, well, is this really worth it for me to actually step out and really be uncomfortable or not? And I'm gonna bet you that it is worth it to you, but just think about small steps, right? Small pieces of incremental improvement is gonna get you where you wanna be, and you're gonna keep a distance from feeling embarrassed or feeling let down, right? Or feeling some sense of loss that you put something out there and didn't get the return you were looking for. So really small little pieces of movement, really small pieces of whatever project you're working on, to help you overcome that fear and to help you see more success in your life.
Awesome. And I can agree more. And one of it's like a saying, right? You never know until you try. So, if you're not sure if you can do something, at least try it. And if you fail, embrace the failure. You don't get it the first time, you can get it the second or the third. Fall down 9 times, get up 10.
I think something else that gets in people's way is they think failure is the end. And failure is part of the process, right? It's not just, am I on a path towards failure and that's the end, or am I on a path towards success and that's the end? No, failure is a part of the process towards success. So even changing the way you think about failure in general will help you get to that success. Embrace that the failure is part of how do I learn? How do I fix the problems to get to that success? How do I learn how to keep working harder? How do I learn to keep working smarter so that I'm getting there as opposed to trying to avoid failure at all costs?
There was never a successful person that didn't fail. Because they had to try to get there. All right, so definitely check this out. Jill, thank you. Put that to work, make it something. Pick a movement that you're having trouble with. Pick that one thing that you're trying to get over that's giving you the heebie-jeebies. And then work it, put it to work. Thanks for watching, and check us out, jonesforcrossfit.com. And remember, make every rep count.